Hello and welcome to The Explainer. Almost every business out there is trying to navigate this absolute maze of software applications. It's sprawling, it's chaotic, and honestly, it's incredibly expensive. So how do you actually get out of that maze? Well, today we're going to explore the path from that chaos to a clear, data-driven AI strategy. Let's dive in.
Okay, here's our game plan. First, we'll tackle what the modern app maze really is. Then, we'll look at a strategic way forward and dig into a playbook for AI transformation. After that, we'll see how you turn all that data into actual decisions. And finally, we'll look at the tangible business impact of all this. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the modern app maze. And it really forces you to ask a pretty critical question. Is all the software your company uses a strategic asset? Or is it just a costly maze you're stuck trying to find your way through? Just take a second and think about your own organization. Do you actually have an answer for that? If you had to pause, don't worry, you're not alone. Most businesses, it turns out, really can't get a single, clear view of the true cost and the real value of all their software. And when you don't have that unified view, the problems, well, they get expensive and they get painful fast. You end up just throwing money away on software licenses nobody's using. You get completely blindsided by these budget-busting renewals. And without a central overview or the right people in the loop, bad decisions are pretty much inevitable. This quote just nails the mindset shift we all need to make. We've got to stop looking at our apps as just tools and start treating them like investments in a portfolio. Some are going to be your star performers, your high-growth assets. Others, they're underperformers, just draining resources. And if you're not actively managing them, you're just guessing which is which. So, if guessing is the problem, then strategy has to be the solution. And that brings us right to Section 2, a strategic way forward. We're going to be looking at a discipline called Application Portfolio Management, or APM for short. So, what in the world is APM? It sounds a little corporate, I know, but at its heart, it's actually pretty simple. It's a business discipline for systematically managing all your software to squeeze the most value out of it while optimizing its performance and its cost. Basically, it's about being intentional with your technology. Now, to put a discipline like APM into practice, companies often need a centralized tool. So for this explainer, we're going to look at how a system called Mobeliz does this. Think of it as a single platform to manage, assess, and ultimately transform your entire application portfolio. So what does an approach like this actually let you do? Well, for starters, you can do really deep assessments, and that includes systematically evaluating every single app for its AI potential. It means you can calculate a real hard return on investment, collaborate with the right people, and make sure that your biggest technology decisions are based on data, not just a gut feeling. Okay, now we get to the really exciting part, here in Section 3, the AI Transformation Playbook. This is where we go beyond just managing what you already have. It's about systematically finding those golden AI opportunities that are probably hidden inside your current tech stack right now. You see, a smart APM approach doesn't just say, go use AI. It gives you a strategic playbook. We see 4 really clear paths here. You can augment a process with AI. You can enrich an existing one. You could go for a full replacement, or you could create a hybrid model where humans and AI work together. This gives you a really clear framework for deciding how to apply AI. So how do you pick the right path? Well, it starts with a holistic AI readiness score. And what's so important here is that it's not just about the technology. It weighs 5 key dimensions. Is your data ready? What's the automation potential? What's the real business impact? Is it even technically feasible? And can the organization handle the change? And here's where it becomes a total game changer. This approach moves way past vague ideas of potential and into concrete financial modeling. By calculating a risk-adjusted ROI, it gives you a solid number to justify your decisions. It lets you finally answer that critical question, is this AI project actually a smart financial bet? Okay, so you've got the data, you've got the ROI. Now what? Section 4 is all about turning that data into an actual decision. It's about creating a collaborative, streamlined workflow so you can make smart choices and make them fast.
This is all done through a guided, step-by-step process. It's like a wizard that walks your teams through defining the context, selecting a transformation path, assessing the impact, modeling the ROI, and then it generates a final recommendation. The real magic here is that it takes a super complex analysis and makes it simple and repeatable for everyone. And this slide just puts the change into perfect perspective. So many of us are familiar with the old way, right? It's just a mess of spreadsheets, siloed teams making their own decisions, and meetings that go on forever. The goal is to get to the new way, a structured, collaborative process where your decisions are driven by data, they're fast, and they're transparent.
A system like this also builds momentum by making approvals way smarter. Instead of every single decision getting stuck in the same bottleneck, the workflow is tiered. Low-impact changes can move really fast, while the bigger, higher-impact initiatives automatically get looped in with the right department heads or executives. It's all about getting the right eyes on a decision without slowing everything down.
Now, this all sounds great in theory, but what about the measurable results? Our final section looks at the tangible business impact, how we turn this strategy into real bottom-line outcomes.
First up, let's talk about speed. By replacing all that manual analysis with a guided, repeatable process, organizations have seen a 60% reduction in the time it takes to assess an application. Just think about that for a second. That frees up hundreds of hours to focus on strategy instead of being buried in spreadsheets.
Next is opportunity. When you have a systematic way to look for AI potential across your entire portfolio, you just find more of it. We're talking about a 25% increase in identified AI transformation projects. These are valuable, high-impact ideas that were just being missed before.
And finally, decision velocity. Streamlining that entire workflow from the first assessment all the way to final approval cuts the total decision time by 40%. In today's market, being able to act on new opportunities that much faster than your competition, that is a massive advantage.
So let's bring it all home. The journey we've just mapped out is really about moving from guesswork to strategy. It all starts with getting full visibility into your tech footprint. Then you use that clarity to systematically find and prioritize your best AI opportunities. And by streamlining how you make decisions, you can finally draw a straight line from what you spend on technology to your actual business outcomes.
And I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. Your organization relies on hundreds, maybe even thousands of different applications. The question you have to be able to answer is this: which ones are the anchors holding you back in the past? And which ones are the rockets ready to launch you into the future? Thanks for watching.